Well, hello, everybody. It's nice to see so many of you joining our little Women in Stone call to action. I'm Sylvie Baudouin. I work for Polycor Natural Stone, and I'm on the Engagement Steering Committee, and I'll be your host with Sarah for this call to action. Great logo up front. This year, we're celebrating our 10th year anniversary. So you probably have seen through the social media, all the cool pop-ups that we've had our communications committee pulled together. So kudos to them.
Thank you for calling Jokes. This is Ashley.
Make sure that you like and share all of that. That's really nice souvenirs for us. So moving along, what are going to be our objectives today? So we have defined several committees and work groups that will be meeting throughout the year to accomplish our goals. And we're going to be discussing each of them to give you a little bit of insight of maybe some potential areas where you can get involved. We're going to learn about each opportunity and raise your hand to get involved. We'll have some QR codes for you to scan. So get your phones handy so you can participate as you wish. What is our vision? A thriving industry with passionate and diverse leaders is our vision.
Our organization was established in 2014.
Sorry.
Throughout the years, we've tried our best to stay true to this mission as we establish new programs each year. We refer back to this.
I thought I turned that off. I'm so sorry.
Can you just move that one along?
Even down to what we're posting up.
Good idea.
Perfect. What's our mission? We spent a lot of time discussing our mission, and it really speaks volumes. So our mission is to recruit, retain, and advance women in the natural stone industry by providing networking connections and educational resources. And that says a lot. I mean, that's really what our mission is at the Women in Stone, is to recruit, retain, and advance women in our industry. And what are going to be our goals within the Women in Stone is networking. We want to increase networking opportunities by coordinating avenues to build relationships. We want to make sure that women have opportunities to develop and promote educational resources that help women gain the confidence and skills they need to succeed. Recognition, we all work so very hard, and it's important and nice to be recognized. And so we want to recognize emerging and experienced women who excel in the industry, and of course recruit, right? We want to create awareness and of opportunities and career paths available to women considering careers in the stone industry. So that's a very important factor for our younger ones who we wish to have involved with us. Our culture, and those really speaks a lot to see all our networking opportunities, and our culture is strong. You belong here, and help you help the industry. You are very valuable to the Women in Stone. You're very valuable to the industry, and you have a place with the Women in Stone, and we want you to feel as part of the family. Volunteer opportunities. So here's what we're going to be doing. Well, basically, we have a steering committee, and we chair like all these different groups and committees. And what we do, we get together ever so often, and we set goals, right, for each committees. And in each of these committees, that's where we're going to be discussing what each committee does, and that's where you can raise your hand and potentially get involved with one of these. So each steering committee member will be discussing their own committee, and we'll give you a little bit of a discussion or information on each of those. So we have in-person events, we have the Welcome and Engagement Committee, we have the Communications Committee, the Mentorship Committee, the Block Talk, and we have the Legacy Series. Those are all our work groups and committees that we carry under the Women in Stone organization. So I would like to invite Brittany to discuss a little bit about the in-person events. Are you there, dear?
Hello, ladies. Yes, so the in-person committee is just there to supply ideas and more opportunity for networking opportunities at the in-person event. So coverings, TICE, Stone Expo, there's numerous opportunities that we get at these stone shows to get together. So this committee would be collaborating with me and some other ladies on how to make it just fun for us to get together, connect more, network more, and utilize that time when we're all together anyway. So if you want to be a part of that and want to help me create some fun ideas for us to network and get together in person, I would love to have you.
And this is a new committee that's supported by multiple work groups. So in past years, if you've paid attention to our committee structures at all, we've had separate committees for coverings for the Amazing Race event that we have at TICE and other individual events that we organize. But now we're going to have a single in-person events committee to oversee all of that. So if there's like one industry event that you attend regularly, don't think that you have to go to all the events to participate in the events committee, because we really need people that are there to really understand all of the different events that we have throughout the year, how they work together, how they differ from each other, and then separate work groups to really, do the down and dirty work that's required to coordinate a great event.
Sarah, I would just like to add, as far as the individual work groups, like, let's say you may be interested, or like Sarah said, you're more likely to attend or be involved with coverings. So if you want to volunteer your time for that event, but you don't do TICE, Stone Expo, I mean, you're not, you can pick and choose where you want to volunteer and serve your time, because the work groups, the smaller work groups are more, they're obviously more focused, a few months, 3 to 6 months time commitment for that particular event, depending on what's going on. So I just wanted to, I don't want you to feel like that because you sign up, or, you say you want to serve on the in-person events committee, you're not obligated to be active in each work group. So, we're happy to have you do as much or as little as you like. So as long as you find something that you're interested in and you're passionate about, then that's what matters.
Can I plug really quick for Amazing Race?
Sure, go ahead.
Great. So for anyone that's not familiar and that's attending TICE, we don't want you to miss out on the Women in Stone's Amazing Race that happens during the Stone Expo. So the little subcommittee that handles that one specifically, our committee tends to get all the work done behind the scenes to make such a spectacular race. In the months leading up to it, and it's in the end of January, we are given basically a list of sponsors from Sarah. We break those sponsorships up based on the level of sponsorship. We come together and we get with those people for swag, for challenges, and to see who wants to be a stop during the expo. With those stops, we help them put together the challenge questions and some of the activities that will take place. It's usually about an hour to an hour and a half. We get the swag beforehand. We have a little get together right before the event where we put all the swag together in bags for the event winners. Also prior to that, we have a 2-hour time frame where we kind of scour the area floor trying to recruit people to be a part of the race. And we just try and bring a ton of energy because it seems to gather a lot of attention as you see groups of people running around to different vendors and then all gathering back at a specific location. So I think the energy is really high if anyone wants to be a part of it in the next 3 months. That's my spiel.
No better way to get to know people and like really build relationships than working on a messy project together and seeing how it comes together in the end. It's very rewarding work, I would say.
Okay, do I have time to give a plug for the meetups?
Oh, okay. Yes.
real fast. So in-person meetups, there's lots of industry events that happen, like several a month. This is part of the events committee, but it's not something that you have to go to. But we are looking for women to help. We want to meet up. We want to have a presence at all these events. So it could be just grabbing a quick drink or some appetizers with friends. But it's kind of cultivating that culture, and we want to have a footprint. So if anyone is at any of these events, whether they're NSI events or like SFA events, anything like that, we would love to have you be a part of that.
All right, so just a reminder, at the end of this webinar, we're going to have a QR code that you can scan, and you can let us know which committees you want to join. So we're just going to go through all of the different committees so that you understand the time commitments and responsibilities and so on.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, ladies in the events committee. The next committee that we're going to be discussing is the Welcome and Engagement Committee, which is the committee that I chair. And what is the goal? Is to ensure members feel welcome and understand how to jump in, encourage all participants to engage. So here's how basically it works out. So we meet once a month and we block off an hour, but we don't always work an hour. And what are the things that we do and what are the things that we discuss? Well, first of all, if you've noticed on social media, we really like to highlight our spotlights, our women in the industry. And so what the committee does is that they gather those spotlights. We also are doing a social hour, which we do once a month. It's every first Thursday of the month. So we do 2 calls, one in the morning and one in the evening. And it's a networking opportunity that is virtual. That's another event that our committee manages and does. We also do, maybe some of you have noticed or have received a letter, a welcoming letter through the mail. So the Welcome and Engagement Committee does that as well. They welcome our members, and they also make little packets of thank you gifts for the members that are really engaging in the various committees. So it's very it's not set in stone to say, but I had to say it. And we adapt because we also want to engage in the other committees where they need help, like on social media. If we see anything that's happening, we want to engage in that manner, comment, like, reshare. So it's not a huge time commitment, and we welcome any new ideas to make and welcome more women and create more engagement. So I'm seeking for your help, for your ideas, for your spunk, for your energy to be part of our committee.
And not that it's a motivator for women to get gifts and swag, but if you do join a committee and are active, you get a present at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And they're usually pretty cool too.
They're very thoughtful, yeah. And this is Michaela, who chairs.
Hello, my name is Michaela. I'm the current chair of the Communications Committee. Before I discuss more about this committee, I just want to say you are probably here today because you are kind of hesitantly interested in getting involved with us. I actually remember attending this same webinar about 6 or 7 years ago. And I really felt like, okay, what can I add to any of these committees? You know, I don't have very strong event planning skills. I didn't know a lot about social media. So I was kind of afraid that I didn't have like enough to offer any of these specific committees. And I wish I had gotten involved sooner because what I just want to make sure you know is that we want you. If you are a woman in the stone industry, I promise you, you have something to add to any of these committees that sound appealing to you, because each of these committees have one need, and that's collaboration. Together, we can do anything. So even if you're not a social media wizard, I want you on this committee because I'm sure you have something else to offer that will help elevate all of us. If committee communications doesn't sound appealing to you, please do reach out to any of the gals on this call. Even if you just want to ask questions privately, any of us will be happy to answer them for you. So communications basically our responsibilities are to promote events and projects within all of the Women in Stone efforts. This can be in-person meetings, virtual events, or just anything that any of the other groups have going on at the time. So we do special projects to promote those things on a case-by-case basis. We also are responsible for connecting through social media with our Women in Stone messaging. And also the monthly Women in Stone update email that you receive. We organize that as well. So the commitment for this committee is a 1-hour meeting each month, and then probably about another 1 hour of, behind the scenes work, depending on what we're doing at the time. We meet the second Tuesday at 3 o'clock Eastern every month, so that's pretty regular. People that we're really looking for right now, again, any of you, we would be happy to have, but specifically this might resonate for you if you're passionate about connecting women in the stone industry. If you're creative with your wording, or if you have any skills with like visual graphics, video, or even just creative ideas. If you have experience with social media, we're specifically wanting to add LinkedIn to the Women in Stone social media campaign this coming year. And if you're just in general willing to help share, work together with the team to discuss, the best methods to communicate and spread the word to grow our professional organization, we would love to have you.
Well said,
Thanks,
Michaela. Thank you
Michaela.
so much. That was amazing. Who's next, Sarah? Mentorship. Annalisa, are you there, dear?
I'm here. Hi, ladies. Thank you all for joining us. The mentorship program has been going on for some time now, and the program continues to be a successful tool in providing support to those who are new to the industry, and also a way to gain knowledge and confidence in the industry or in your role. It's a great networking resource and creates a pathway for continued friendship, mentoring, and growth. The committee works together to review feedback received from participants, and we look for where improvements can be made so that we can plan for the next year's program. We also look at what's working well and how we can elevate the program and continue to evolve it. The time commitment, as it says here, it's concentrated around the activities. It is heavy in February. We do have meetings that typically run about an hour, and they are scheduled in advance. September to March is probably the time frame that there's a little bit more frequency and required engagement from the committee members. February is our crunch, since we launch our program typically in March. And we strive to break up the tasks so that everyone on the committee has a chance to help out, dependent on their availability. And if possibly not being part of this committee is something that you would be interested in, I highly encourage everyone to be a participant in the mentorship program at least once. It's a huge benefit.
Thank you, Annalisa, and spread the word. I mean, this is a really thriving program, and there's, like Annalisa was saying, it's a great way to network and to make new friendships that last. It's not just during those 6 months. These contacts last forever. So if you have anybody that you think that would really benefit from this mentorship, please reach out to them.
And I do have a slide at the end, but I'll just state, since we're talking about it now, registration for the mentorship program will open up in January with the deadline of early February. It's not open yet, but what we're talking about now is involvement on committees. So we do need people to help kind of run the behind the scenes stuff. But if the committee is not for you and you just want to join as a mentorship participant, as a mentee or mentor or peer mentor, timing is a couple months out. So watch your emails for that.
Beth is the current chair for the Block Talk Committee. Are you there?
Yep, I'm here. Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming. So if you're not familiar with Block Talk, Block Talk is a bi-monthly meeting that we get together to talk about hot topics as a woman working in the industry. So they may be regarding leadership or work hacks or home hacks or anything that we face as women, working women in natural stone. So it's been really fun. We've been doing it a few years now, Sarah.
Yeah, maybe 2.5.
Yeah, and we usually have anywhere between 30 and 50 women for each block talk. It happens every other month. Our next one is December 3rd, and we're going to be talking about holiday stress and being a working woman. And we've come up with some, I think, really great articles with not just your standard tips, but some that are, I hadn't seen before. So I'm excited about that. So what it requires is an hour and a half commitment every other month. So it's not real heavy. And in January, we'll meet for about an hour to come up with the topics for 2025. So you get to be in on the topics that we choose, and that's fun. And then your hour and a half commitment is a half an hour before the block talk, just to make sure that we have everything organized. And then you would lead a breakout room. And if you've never done one and you're not comfortable with that right away, that's okay. All you do is, when you lead a breakout room, is lead the discussion and keep the discussion flowing. And then at the end, when we come all back together to talk about our insights from our small group discussions, you kind of give a summary. So it's an excellent opportunity to meet other women within the industry from all over the US. You also, by leading a room, you will get to show or develop, if that's your interest, leadership skills. And in doing so, you will make yourself visible for a possible steering committee nomination, because every year we seem to, members, their time expires and they drop off, and we're looking for new people. So this is a great way to show us who you are and the skills that you have for a possible nomination for the steering committee, if that's something you want to work towards. So we're looking for about 3 to 5 women for this committee. It's a block talk is usually on a Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And that's about it. It's really fun. I really enjoy it. I signed up to be the committee chair and again, because it's one of my favorite just kind of breaks in the middle of the day, and it's just so nice to see everybody. So I hope that you want to participate on this committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Beth. Legacy Series, we have Susan, who chairs this committee.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. On the Legacy Series, the goal is to provide lasting tribute to inspirational female leaders in our industry and inspire the Women in Stone participants to be successful in their own careers. This will be our 3rd series. We've done 2. We've determined that the venue at the 2025 event will be held at the study tour in September, which will be in Elberton, Athens, Georgia area. And the featured woman will be Monica Gowett from Tennessee Marble. I apologize. The saws are going crazy here today. So that's what's been determined so far, but we still have to, there's a lot of things to be developed. We developed the questions, we have to select the interviewee, we have to determine the food and the drink, and then also the event is recorded for future viewing. It's a live event, but it's recorded for, it'll be part of the series for women to watch, or anyone to watch. So we have to schedule and set up the AV equipment and determine the stage and the setting. So there's some behind the scenes work also. So even if you're not going to be at the study tour, there's a lot of planning, upfront planning that needs to be done. The time commitment, we have monthly meetings throughout 2025, and then there's some additional offline responsibilities. And it's a really fun event. Sarah, do you have anything?
I would just maybe stress a little more the research factor. We really try to help tell our honorees' story. And so we do a lot of research of people that they've interacted with throughout their careers to get perspectives from different angles and put that into interview questions. So it's really a unique project to work on, but and really cool. And if you haven't seen the past Legacy Series events, we've got one on Brenda Edwards and one on Barbara Cohen. Those are available on our website. And if you can't find the link, let me know and I'll send you a direct link.
So yeah, we'd love to have anyone that's interested in participating. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. Do we have any questions? Don't hesitate. We're all here, but you can also just don't hesitate to reach out to us in like in person. We're, like I said, we're all women that want to help each other out. So there's no shame or shyness to have.
You can use the chat box if you want, or just unmute your line and ask a question. All right, Amy says it's her first meeting, so welcome, Amy. Hopefully this gives you a good overview of kind of what we do. It's not really meant to be information about the programs that we coordinate, but how you can get involved in the committees that organize all the rest of that.
And you don't have to sign up for anything. You're learning, you're educating yourself, but it doesn't mean that down the road or you will want to participate in some way, shape, or form. It's to give you a great indication. Hey, we would love your help if you're interested, but don't feel it like it's an obligation, right, Sarah?
Right.
What's next?
All right, no questions. Next is the QR code. So if you would like to join a committee, please scan this QR code and it'll take you to a very simple form. You'll check a box on which committee or committees you're interested in joining and give us your name. And then we'll get you hooked up with that chair so that they can invite you to the next meeting. I'm going to give everybody just a minute or 30 seconds here to make sure that everybody scans if they would like to join.
Funda has a question.
Oh.
She says, how many people usually participate in these events, such as the in-person events, Block Talk, or Legacy events?
Oh, well, in-person events, it depends on the event. Like our live Block Talk at Coverings had about 50 participants. Our Amazing Race usually has about 40 or so participants. Block Talks, we get 30 to 50. It depends on the topic and the timing as to how many people are able to join us for that. The Legacy event is quite different. We do have a live audience, but we also record it for access on demand afterwards. So it's been tied to the study tour the last 2 times. And so it's dependent on who's registered for the study tour, which the last time was about 100 people. So hopefully that answers your question, give you a little bit of an idea on the scale of how many people.
Sarah, if I could, one thing I'd like to mention that we didn't bring up earlier as far as with the in-person events. This past year at Coverings in Atlanta was our first time collaborating with other women's groups, women in tile, women in the flooring industry. And so there was a galvanized lounge and we collaborated with them and was able to pool our resources together. And we had a very lively, a wonderful speaker that came in, like a motivational speaker. And then, of course, we hosted our own live Block Talk that Sarah just mentioned also. And so we're hoping to continue that trend. I know that there's going to be another lounge to that effect, I believe, at TICE, the next TICE 2025. With it being so close right now, we don't really have anything officially booked as a collaboration, but that is something that we definitely have on our radar, for all future trade shows, Coverings next year, and more than likely TICE in 2026. So that seems to be, I feel like personally, not just the Women in Stone group, but all of the women that were there from the other industry groups as well. It just really elevates, I feel like our goals, whether we're in natural stone or tile or any of, the flooring side of things, when we all come together like that, the energy is just really, really nice. And I'm happy that we've started that and look forward to continuing things of that nature.
Thank you, Tia. Sarah, do you have anything to add? We're ready to move to the
Nope,
next.
I think we're ready to move on. We do have a couple more slides just to let you know about stuff that we have coming up. So we have a number of virtual engagement opportunities that happen throughout the year. We have our Facebook discussion group. This is a private group. You'll have to answer a couple of questions before you're admitted into the group. So it's only women actively working in the natural stone industry. So it's just really a safe space for you to ask questions. There's conversations in there about what software do you use? How do you fabricate this material? Does anybody have any remnants of this material? Also, just is anybody going to this event? If you are, I'd love to meet up with anybody else who's attending. So it's just a nice place to ask questions and get answers. We also have our virtual social hours that are pretty new. This will be our third one coming up the first week in December, the first Thursday of December. So these are always the first Thursday of the month, both at 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. Eastern. So you can join those. There's no agendas. I mean, we just kind of log on and how's your day? What kind of things are you struggling with? What sort of things are motivating you, just to get to know each other a little bit better in a more informal setting. And then we also have our block talks. The next one is on Tuesday, December 3rd, and Beth talked a little bit about that. The topic is going to be holiday hustle, just dealing with all of the work parties and family things that we have going on. So that should be a very good discussion. And I see some people scanning away, so that's good. And then finally, our amazing race. So if you scan that QR code, that will take you to pre-registration. If you are going to be attending Stone Expo at TICE this year in Las Vegas at the end of January, we hope you'll join us for this event. Very fun. You will not have more fun on any educational session at TICE. I can say that confidently with no hesitation. It's just a really good time. And it's actually really educational too. And you go through and you participate in these different challenges. And if you win the challenge, then you get a sticker in your passport and you have clue cards that take you to the different booths. It's just really fun. So the people that are on your small team, you get to know them better. You get to know, more about the stones that are being presented within the Natural Stone Pavilion. And guys, there's prizes, like swag bags full of like really good stuff. Our sponsors are very good to us. So anyone who is on one of the winning teams will get quite a lot of loot to take home. And then finally, our mentorship program. Registration is not currently open, but just to give you an idea of the timing, the registration will open probably actually in December, but I'm going to say January just to not back myself into a hole. And then the deadline will be the beginning of February. We'll have everybody matched up with their mentor, mentees, or peer mentors by the end of February. And then you'll be assigned with that person throughout the whole year. And we'll give you guidance on how to, what you should be talking about at each meeting. By the end, about the middle of the program, you set your own agendas, but we do get you off to a good start and make sure that you have a good base for your relationship so that you can really learn from each other and get, a little bit more of a network for yourself within the industry. I think that's all.
Sarah, did you see that Tara is asking about the invites?
No.
Do invites get sent out for the virtual and block talk?
Yes, if you are on our mailing list, then you will get invitations for those. Actually, I think it went out, is today Tuesday? It'll go out tomorrow, the invitation for the block talk.
What about the virtual chat? Do we need to add an invitation to that?
Yeah, I mean, those are newer. We've just been advertising or promoting them on social. We haven't done emails. We feature them in our monthly emails. The next one's going to go out actually tomorrow also. So
Well, stay tuned and be on the lookout. Don't blow through any of those weekly emails because there's always new things hidden in there. Monthly emails, sorry about that.
And as far as the virtual social hour, that link does not change. It's a Zoom link that is consistent. So once you save it, put it in your favorites, whatever, to reference back to it, that link does not change. Unlike obviously the Block Talks do, but the virtual does not.
So emails coming tomorrow. Watch your inboxes. And that's
Great.
all.
Well,
Thank you
yes.
guys so much for being here. We're glad to see so many faces and people interested in getting more involved. If you have any other questions, let us know.
Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Thank you,
Great.
everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, ladies.
Bye-bye.